Hello and welcome, this is Mercenary and we're back with some more BattleTech. I have one more mission to go in this system, but before I do that, I'd like to go over and take care of some things. The first thing I'd like to talk about is something that I really hadn't been paying close attention to, and recently I realized that I was making a false assumption, and that's the melee combat in this game. Really hadn't been paying attention to the stat when looking at different mechs. You see this bar here, and as far as I'm aware, you don't actually see the melee damage numbers except when you're actually in a battle. It will be listed along with the damage of other weapons down at the bottom, and I just really hadn't been paying attention to that. I just made a false assumption that it would follow along the same lines that you see in the tabletop game. And the way it works in the tabletop game is damage is based off of tonnage. Now, there are some modifying factors that make you more or less effective in melee combat, and that has to do with actuators in the arm. So there's a number of actuators in an arm. For example, there's going to be hand actuators. And if you are missing those actuators, you aren't as effective in melee combat. So I realized that this game would abstract that. And I figured that they would vary the damage that you do based off of that factor. So an example is we see a picture of the Shadowhawk here, and it has two hands, whereas you look at the Centurion, it only has one hand. So in the tabletop game, the Centurion wouldn't be as effective if it was using this arm to punch, whereas the Shadowhawk could punch with either arm just as effectively. So I figured they would do some kind of extraction based off of that. But that was not the way that this game works. And the best example of that is a comparison between the Shadowhawk. We can see here the bar for the melee damage, and then we compare that to the Griffin. You note that the melee damage just jumped down, but you also note that the Griffin has two hands. So it has the same attributes. And again, we move over to the Wolverine. Same tonnage, has two hands, and yet it's less effective, or it's the same effectiveness as the Griffin. So for some weird reason, the developers of the game decided that the Shadowhawk should be more effective at melee combat than the Griffin and the Wolverine, which are more or less very similar mechs, same tonnage, very similar setup, and there's no really reason for that. So that really threw me off guard, and I really came to this conclusion when I was playing with the Griffin and the Shadowhawk in the same battle, and I just happened to look down. I saw what the Griffin's melee combat damage was. I don't remember the number, but I remember it being significantly lower than the Shadowhawk's damage value. And I was like, really? And so now I'm looking at it, and yeah, for sure, the bar here is lower. And I really don't know why that is, other than it just is. So I guess the lesson here is carefully pay attention to this stat. And it is the same between the two Shadowhawk variants. So this is one Shadowhawk variant. We see its melee bar here, and then the other one has the same bar. So again, the Shadowhawk has a better melee ability than other mechs that are more or less relatively the same. So kind of confused me, and in my opinion, I was using the Griffin in a way that it shouldn't have been. I was using it the way that I had been using the Shadowhawk, to occasionally do melee combat when the opportunity presented itself, but it was not anywhere near as effective. And I think we saw that in the one battle where I engaged in melee combat against a dragon, and the dragon just kicked the crap out of me. Now, if we look, the dragon has the same bar as a Shadowhawk, and it's a heavier mech. So if this was following the rules of the tabletop game, that shouldn't be the case. Now, again, the dragon is missing a hand actuator here, so you could make an argument there, but why does the Griffin and the Wolverine have a significantly lower melee combat stat? So I don't know, just the way the game works, and it's something I'm going to have to pay a little bit more attention to. And this has actually made me think about redesigning the Shadowhawk to be the mech that my pilot uses. Because I probably could set it up the same way as I do have the Blitz Griffin. I could strip out the two SRM6s and the two medium lasers and just put them in the Shadowhawk. They wouldn't be in necessarily the same locations, but that would actually be a good thing, because the way the Griffin works is its weaponry is all on one side, whereas in the Shadowhawk it'd be a little bit more spread out. So in that way, the Shadowhawk would probably be a better version of what I'm trying to accomplish with the Blitz Griffin, because in those occasions where I'm running hot and I have to resort to punching, I would be much more effective in that role. So I'm actually thinking about doing that. And we probably could set up the Griffin here to be the same way that the Shadowhawk I was about to set up, with the large laser and the 2 medium lasers and all that stuff. I could do that. The problem with that is the Griffin wouldn't be available for the next combat. So I'm not going to do it now, but I just want to point out this is something I'm realizing that maybe I need to change around how I do things. Maybe the Griffin is the better scout because of the lack of being able to do melee combat damage, and the Shadowhawk is the better blitz mech, like I've been using the Griffin. So I think that's what I'm going to end up doing. I'm just not going to do it now. The other things I do need to take care of. I need to take care of... Well, actually, now that we're saying that, and while we're on that topic, what I am going to end up doing is I'm going to cancel the refit of the Shadowhawk. It doesn't make any sense to go forward with that because we're not going to keep this setup. We're not going to use it. So I'm going to stop this work. We're going to get refunded, and it'll probably keep the weapons I stripped out because that usually doesn't take any time. So we'll just have the couple medium lasers still around, but we're going to use those anyway. Technically, I mean, I'm going to rip them out so that I can put in the better medium lasers into this mech. But for now, we're just going to keep the Shadowhawk as it is. Now, the armor should have taken, and now I can compare the armor value. Yeah, it does look like we got more armor than we did in the other Shadowhawk, but not quite as much as we have in the Blitz Griffin. So I could modify it and just get that little bit more armor to balance it, and then I might have to strip out a little bit of armor to get it to be the same kind of setup as we were going to have in the Shadowhawk over here. I'm going to kind of have to figure things out, though, and do some tweaks as we go. But that's the game plan, and I'm going to go forward with that. All right. That's enough of that. Let's go ahead and go to some other things we need to take care of. So the upgrade of the Argo. So we did finish this habitat. I am going to go on to the training module, as I feel like that's a fairly important one. We do have other ones that would be nice to get. The med bay in particular I talked about. We do have a wounded pilot, but the thing with that wounded pilot is if I do travel somewhere, I think it would take enough time that she would be better when we would need her, I think. I'm not positive on that, but this is a lot cheaper anyway, so let's go with that.
Sure thing. It'll take a bit, but
all
we'll
right.
get it done.
Now that we've done that, I do want to also check the store to see if it's restocked. So in particular, I'm looking for the LRM-15. It doesn't look like it restocked, so more time has to go by for stores to restock. I don't really know how that restocking works, but I'm imagining that it would restock. I don't know that for certain, though. But I would imagine if we came back here, that we would possibly find that system again. All right, well, I think that's all the setup we need. Let's go ahead. Oh, no. We have Mech Warriors. Let's see if we have any experience to dole out. Okay, so my character, I'm still waiting to get this last bit of piloting to see what that does, so we'll continue on that course. But here, definitely want to pick this up. I'm going to make Jalopy the backup.
Training complete.
The backup support pilot that we need.
Standing by.
Okay, you have a few different choices. Piloting... you know, we could use that. We are piloting a Shadowhawk, and we've just determined Shadowhawks are good at punching. So there are utilities for this skill. We could also save up to see what this does more, but we're not really using a lot of the benefits we get out of this. Just having a gunnery skill upgrade would be nice. And then the gut skill is going to give us more health. That one I'm not so necessarily keen on. I'm going to save up a little bit just to see where we get with this. So far, Jalopy's the only one we really needed to level up. Okay, so here we have a few choices. So tactics, we get that called shot bonus, piloting, get more max sprint and better base. I'm going to go with this one because of the way we've been using the dragon. Yeah, let's go with that.
Training confirmed, Commander.
Alright, now we can go ahead and do our contract. So this is going to be the last one we have available, and it's a little bit more difficult. 2.5 skulls. Been scouting the Brisbane system for weeks, looking for a pirate spy who took something that didn't belong to them. Recent intelligence has revealed a possible location, but we can't possibly chase every lead with our thin resources. We need you to look into this long shot. If you find the spy, destroy them. So yet again, the Capellans are paying me to track down pirates in a system that they don't control. Alright, that's a little weird. You'd think the Tarians would offer this mission instead. But, oh well. So it's going to be lowland, so we don't really have... We're at a neutral point for heat. And this is going to be the first time we're doing an assassinate mission. So let's take a look at this. So, as far as things go, I know I'm going to have at least one mech to fight. I'm just going to keep this at the 50-50 point. It's decent pay. It's alright salvage. We'll go with that. Okay, so in this case, we're just going to go forward with everything we have here, except the dragon is now available again. So we'll take that. And I think everything else should be ready to go. So let's go ahead and deploy. Okay, here we go.
Command interface initiated.
Commander, here are the coordinates provided to us by Capellan Intel. We believe the target may be in this general region. If you find him, take him out, then evac. We only got a slight glimpse of him, but it looked like maybe an Orion. I could be wrong with that, though. It was just a brief look. I should have probably lingered on that message and looked at him a little bit longer. So, I believe he was on this X. And then we have the supporting enemy forces, which are probably going to be here. Alright, I really don't want to stay in the water. But if I don't have a choice on the matter, I'm going to jump so that we can get the brace up.
I copy.
But yeah, it seems like there's a lot of water on this map, so we can take advantage of that for the mechs that have a little bit harder time with heat. I'm going to do the same thing with the Blitzgriffin, because it gives us the best defense we could possibly have. Okay. And I am happy with the Shadowhawk as a scout. That seemed to work pretty well. Okay. I'm going to keep on dry land, I think, for this. Dragon doesn't tend to run all that hot.
Heading out.
And we'll get more evasion doing that. Okay, and then Trebuchet.
On my way.
All right. Haven't contacted anything yet. All right. At this point, we should have sensor contacts, possibly of the reinforcements. We are going to be fighting uphill, so that's a little bit of a problem.
Up high.
Okay, we got a sensor contact. Well, that's a 75-ton mech. Interesting, this is only a 2.5 skull mission, and we're having some pretty heavy mechs here. And that is not the primary objective. Huh, alright. Oh. I'm gonna stay on the water just for that heat dissipation. And we may be able to contact these guys around this area. Okay.
Move order received.
So again, I'm not going to move up too far here.
Copy that.
Okay.
Give them everything you've got.
We only know about one heavy mech. And I don't see a reason why not to just reserve here. We've got good defense up. 75 tons can be a couple things. Ryan is one choice. Again, my knowledge of heavier mechs and their tonnage is a little weaker. It's harder for me to guess all the alternatives. I think a Grasshopper is 75 tons. Alright. Well, unless they have assault mechs, we should be free to move here. So, I'm just going to jump on up. I wouldn't imagine this guy has a lot of evasion. So we may be able to get some damage done here. Okay, I'm guessing we're getting more sensor contacts. Let's see them. Okay, a 25-ton mech. It's quite a variance, and then we have another 75-tonner. Is that our assassinate target? Maybe it was a Panther I saw. Alright, well, it is an Orion. It doesn't have full armor, but it's only a reduction of 25%, I believe. Okay, well, let's go ahead and fire. As I thought, he doesn't have a ton of evasion.
Roger.
But Orion's going to have really good armor, so with the guard up like he's got, it's going to be tough to do a lot of damage here. Let's start with Jalopy. And I'm just going to move. And accuracy is probably not going to be great on this guy. Oh, it's actually not that bad. It's a bigger target. They do take into account the size of the target in this game. And we're only going to fire the this guy, so we do more stability damage.
Roger.
Okay, not bad. We have a good chance of knocking him unsteady. Alright, now the dragon.
Ready for orders. I copy.
And fire. Okay. Oh, my mech. And the way I moved, unfortunately, I don't know if I'm going to be able... Oh, yeah, it looks like I can pull off an attack. Let's do it from the woods here.
Engaging jump jets.
Focus in on the side where the AC-10 is at. At least I think that's the side that the AC-10's at. Yeah, it is. All right. So, yeah, there's a melee damage of 70. We'll take a look at the Shadowhawk next time.
All weapons committed.
All right, there's the knockdown. Okay, here comes their light mech.
Standing by.
Alright, so as you can see, 85 there. But death from above is the same, it looks like, 140. Alright. I'm tempted to just keep hitting the Orion while it's down. But we don't have to stick around to do that. Of course, if I jump away, then I'm the only one giving vision. I am going to jump away. Oh, apparently I can still see him from here. If I jump there, can I hit him? Alright, I can hit him with everything. He won't be able to see me until he gets up, so if we can kill him before that happens, then it will work out. So, we'll go ahead with that.
Acknowledged.
Now, the chance it will kill him, I don't know how good that chance is, because, again, this is an Orion with very good armor. I'll go after the right torso, just under the chance that we may be able to take it out.
On it. I've been sensor
Okay,
locked.
so unfortunately they sensor locked me, so they can see me regardless of what I do.
Receiving you.
Okay. I will point out that the difference in the damage between the Shadowhawk and the Griffin isn't as significant as I initially thought, but it's still a decent difference. Alright, so at this point, we could potentially get a kill straight up here. So I'm going to go after the center torso rather than the right torso. But as we know, missiles don't tend to go necessarily where you want them to.
Firing. Inflicted some heavy damage.
Okay. So do we do something to make ourselves a target so they don't go after the Shadowhawk so hard? I think I'm going to try it. I'll move up, I'll use Vigilance. And then we'll try and finish the Orion here. Okay, so center torso again. How are we doing? We didn't get that much damage on it.
All weapons committed.
There we go.
Okay, let's go.
Enemy mech destroyed.
Fortunately, AC-10 didn't hit. But now I'm pretty certain that's an Orion that just fired at me. Okay, so according to this, 50% of supporting mechs have been killed. So there's our target mech. So what is this supposed to be then? That's not a supporting mech, it's just, what is it, just magic? So this is the only thing that's part of our objective. This we could ignore entirely, alright. It's only a 25-ton mech, so either way you look at it, it's not that big of a deal.
Waiting for orders.
Okay, so we killed who we needed to kill. I'm going to sprint here so I get out of the water. And we're going to get into the woods here. Our enemy's more over this way, so I guess I'll run kind of in that way direction.
Understood.
Orions are not cool running mechs, so we may be able to take advantage of that with the Fire Dragon. Okay. Whatever it is, it's moving very slowly. At this point, I think we reserve. It was there. Is it this mech that did the sensor locking last time? It's either one of these two. And this guy has the Master Tactician ability, so it is likely he has that ability to sensor lock. Alright, we'll reserve again. As the Orion may not be able to see anyone, but if they see anyone, it's going to be the Griffin. And doing a good job of missing there. Okay. The Griffin took the shot nicely. So at this point, I'm not running super hot, but if it keeps firing like that, it will eventually be a problem. Okay. Well, I want to get more vision out, if at all possible. We could just attack and retreat. But because we have the initiative advantage, I don't really think there's a strong case for that. This could be... Would that be an urban mech? I thought urban mechs are heavier than that. Alright, I am going to move up. Let's see what we've got here. So, yeah, okay, it is another Orion. So we had 3 Orions that we're dealing with here, although this one's a different variant. Well, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to multi-target. You're going to be A, and you're going to be B. And B, I'm just going to sling the medium laser that gives us an accuracy bonus at him. That way we whittle down that last bit of evasion. Alright.
Engaging multiple targets.
Now, I didn't look to see if he had full armor. He does.
Our primary target is taking damage.
So, yeah, okay. It's going to take some work to get through that armor.
Receiving you.
Alright,
Ready for orders.
let's have her go first. And we'll multi-target here. So you're going to be A. You're going to be B. And I'm going to sling this one at B, just so that we get that full damage on it.
On it.
Honestly, we should focus fire here, but... if I split fire like this, we're doing full damage on both mechs. Okay, got a head hit over there.
Commander.
Okay, if I attack from here, it's too far range to get anything other than just an LRM-15 shot. I kind of do want to move up here, so we can get more weapons to bear, but also, I want to get in there and hit with the flamers at some point, so that's the only way we're going to do that is by moving up. So I'm going to use Vigilance. As our morale's doing pretty well, I think we can afford it. Okay. Now we'll hit. And we might be able to knock this guy down.
Engaging with target.
Okay, there goes the knockdown, so that's going to be another pilot injury for this guy. Alright. Now let's strive to finish off the downed pilot. So I'm just going to do a walking move so that I can cool off a bit. And that means the only thing we'll be firing here is the AC-5, unfortunately. Alright, where do we want to hit him? Looks like that right torso is a bit beat up. Oh, did the cult shot get up? That's a bug. There we go. And fire.
Engaging target. Scored a critical
Okay, we got a
hit.
crit on that AC-10. We'll make it less accurate. Alright, well, unfortunately, this guy's going to beat me to the punch. He'll be able to go before me no matter what I do right now, because if I move with this mech, he'll go next. If I reserve with this mech, he'll go next. So either way, he's probably going to attack my Griffin here, so nothing I can do about that. I'm getting lucky with these AC-10 shots, though. They are missing. Okay, we're going to attack and retreat. The Orion is a tempting target, but the one that's down is even more tempting. On the other hand, though, I have just about every mech here that is probably going to follow up on the downed Orion, whereas this guy is going to be the only one that can hit our target, so I'm going to hit him a little bit. When I say a little bit, I mean I'm going to Alpha Strike him. Okay, now let's jump back. Can he see still? He can still see me, huh? Well, we'll get a bit of evasion, I guess. Ideally, you're breaking contact and not allowing him to see you anymore, but this guy's got such good tactics skill, he's got a good line of sight. Alright. Let's go with Jalopy then.
For orders.
At this point, I feel like we're doing quite well, so I'm going to move up a little bit. I am going to split fire here. And you are going to be A, and you are going to be B, and we're going to do this one as B, because we don't need the stability damage.
Firing on multiple enemies.
I might be able to knock this Orion down, so that's why I'm going for this. As we can see, quite a bit of stability damage there.
Standing by.
Okay. We can multi-target here. And I'll have the LRM-15 fire at this guy, hopefully knocking him down. And we'll have everything else fire at this guy. We'll get our guard back up.
Multiple targets confirmed.
This is kind of wishful thinking that it'll knock him down. I don't know if it will or not. Yeah, there we go. We do have extra stability damage, so that does help. Okay, now we're going to focus on this guy, and maybe we'll take this section out with our...
What's up, boss?
So if I move there, I can bring everything else to bear, so that's perfect.
Position confirmed.
I am kind of making myself a target, though, because I didn't move all that much. But hopefully, we'll take this section out.
Roger that.
Oh, we missed with our big damage. We still got it, though. Orion still have good firepower despite missing torso section and an arm. Okay, so here I think we do want to... I mean, honestly, it doesn't matter, I think, who I move. So we've got a commando here. I could go after the Orion now, or I could wait, so I think we wait. Commander will be able to do whatever it's going to do. Go after the Griffin and miss. Okay. Now we can go after this. All right. So in this case, I'm going to split my targets again. I'm doing this for full damage purposes. So you're A. Or B. And this is going to be B, so we're doing stability damage on this one.
It's go time.
Okay.
Good to go.
And we do need to keep moving here. The Shadowhawk, preferably. I kind of want to hit this guy, though, with a precision strike so that he can't just go up and punch my dragon, because my dragon is vulnerable to that, and I really don't want that to happen. So, I am definitely thinking about it. I think that's what I'm going to end up doing. So I'm going to jump into the water here. I still want to be able to hit him with most of my stuff, though. There we go.
Roger that.
And yeah, I'm going to do the precision strike just so that we knock him down in initiative, so he can't just do as he wants to do. If we go after center torso, he might even be dead.
Copy that.
That would be if the AC-5 had actually hit. Fortunately, that didn't happen. We did some damage, though, to that center torso. Okay. Well, I could walk up and I could hit this guy again before he gets a chance to get up. Problem is, I have my best defense right now, so yeah, vulnerable now, but the chance I'll get rocked by if I do that is kind of on the high end, so I'm going to reserve. Okay, and with our stronger evasion, he chose only to fire a single laser at us to try and burn that down. Alright.
Good to go.
Now, I can go up and punch if I want to, before this guy gets a chance to go. In this case, I do 90 damage, so it is slightly more than the Shadow Hog. And then we do the flame damage on top of that. So, that'd be 100 if we hit with everything. Alternatively, I could move up so that I just hit with all my weapons. But honestly, yeah, I think the punch is the right move here. So, let's go do that. And attack. We will do some heat damage here. I don't know if it'll be enough to really matter that much. Yeah, we got the kill nonetheless. And then you gotta roast the corpse.
Hostile eliminated.
Okay. Now for my character. I think we're going to do an attack move here. We'll hit him first. And then we'll move back.
All weapons committed.
Okay. And we also move back into the woods so we get some cover. Be nice to move back into the water as well, but this guy can beat me to the initiative punch, so I have to be ready for that.
Target is retreating, Commander. Eliminate it before it escapes.
Okay. Being an assassination mission, okay. Well, we can try and do that.
Orders?
It's going to be up to Decker. There we go. I'm going to have to take a more risky move here then. But I'm going to precision strike, which I have available. And we're going to hit the Orion so that it will not be able to go at that medium initiative phase. Okay, let's go after the left torso, see if we can get rid of some of those weapons. Okay, we got him. Oh, and he's dead. Okay, that's confirmed kill. Time to make yourself scarce. So all we have now is a commando who's already gone, so this is just going to be everybody being able to just open up on a lone commando here. Keeping what it is. Yeah, we should be able to pull this off.
Yes, Commander.
Alright, I'm going to move up. Maybe able to get those medium lasers in there as well. We can, so I'm going to fire everything. Let's get a precision strike on this guy, just so that we are getting a little bit better accuracy.
Acknowledged.
There we go. Reduce that firepower. And
Yes,
Behemoth.
Commander.
Move into the woods and attack side. I don't think I'm getting close enough to use anything other than my LRM-15 here, but it would be some firepower at the very least. Okay, it is everything. Minus the flamers, of course. Almost knocked him down. Okay. If we use the precision strike, we'll be able to move first. We get away with a jump in behind, and it looks like we can.
Lifting off.
The Shadowhawk with this setup runs pretty cool. Turn off the medium laser though, just so we don't overheat.
Putting one in the back.
There we go.
We can salvage that.
Well done. You managed to wipe the OP4 out. I can do any extract now, right now. No need to get to our planned LZ.
Mission successful.
Okay, so we get a bonus for killing the support forces and a little bit more rep. Nobody took any head hits, and we get our 2,000 experience. Okay, now for salvage. So we have a fair number of Orion parts available. I think we just go for the Orion, because there's a decent chance we'll pick it up here, as I have 2 choices, and then I have the 8 random ones. So there is a chance. And we have a lot of bits here, though, so there's also a chance we'll just get a bunch of those random bits. I didn't see any special equipment, so let's go for the variant here. Now, which one is this? Okay, some of the armor... And, alright, so you're getting increased firepower, reducing armor. Well, you know, we can still work with that. What is the difference in the slots? So, 2, 2, 3, and no support. Okay, 1, 4, 2. So, a little bit of difference there. Okay. Well, let's go ahead and confirm. Alright, unfortunately we didn't get it, but we tried.
Got a new financial report for you, Commander.
Okay, so we have financial report. Don't actually know how much money I have right now, do I? I'm tempted to go up to the next level because we did lose some morale in an event. Like I would like to get some of that back if I can, but 200,000 to do that. Oh, we made a decent amount in this system. I'll go for it. Okay. So the difference between the Shadowhawk and the Griffin was maybe not as much as I had initially thought, but it's still, I mean, the difference between the Dragon and the Griffin was only, I'm sorry, the Dragon and the Shadowhawk was only 5, but the difference between the Griffin and the Shadowhawk, same tonnage, seemingly the same kind of mech, was 15. So that does seem to be pretty significant in the grand scheme of how melee combat works. So the important thing is it's something I keep my eye on in the future. Whether or not I strip out all the systems from the Griffin and switch it over to the Shadowhawk over here for the reasons that melee combat would be just that little bit more effective, I'll make that decision when it comes. But yeah, definitely a lesson I learned there. Pay a little bit more mind to this stat. Again, I don't know what the exact numbers are from here. At least I don't think so. I don't think it says when you go to refit either. When you could look at the damage value of individual components, like these medium lasers, I can look at that. I can see 25 damage. But I don't think this actually tells you what it means here. Like, I mean, actual raw numbers. So you just have to know. And it's kind of a vague bar, because to me, looking back at this, the Dragon and the Griffin, I'm sorry, I keep saying the Griffin, the Dragon and the Shadowhawk, that bar looks the same to me. But it is a difference of 5. Not a huge difference, but, I mean, let's look at it here. So we've got 4 bars that are empty with a little bit of a tick into that one bar. And then we go over to the Shadowhawk. And it's more or less the same thing. We have 4 bars that are empty with that little bit of a tick into the one. So as far as I can see with this bar, they're the same, but they're not really. So, you know, it's a little bit of data that maybe should be a little bit more apparent that they're just not giving us. I mean, you could say the same thing about heat efficiency. You don't know really what your heat efficiency number is. You just have a bar to go off of, and it's not really that informative because the Shadowhawk here, you know, we have this bar, but we do know that if we're jumping around a lot, this thing will run hot. Whereas I bet you the same kind of bar, yeah, right here, the same kind of bar on this Hunchback, this actually runs a lot cooler because it's not jumping around constantly. So it does take that into account when you add in jump jets. It does lower your heat efficiency, but does it do it sufficiently to really be meaningful? I'm not sure it does. Well, in any case, we're going to go ahead and wrap up this video. I hope you guys have enjoyed. This is Mouse Gunner, signing out.